You may have just been charged with a DWI in Texas. DWI is a serious offense, and it can be made more serious by the fact that a lot of people charged with DWI have never been charged with any crime before. So it's introducing like a totally new stressor into your life, and I get it. In this video, I want to cover really what I think are three super important things to think about and work on kind of right out of the gate if you've been charged with DWI, because they're important and they can make a difference. The first one is bond conditions. It's important to identify the conditions of your bond. Some people come out of jail and they've got, some weird conditions of bond that are extraordinary. Most people just have standard conditions of bond. Everybody has some conditions of bond, and you need to know what they are. They should have told you, but they oftentimes don't tell you, or it was on a piece of paper and it got lost or whatever. So going to court is the most important condition of bond. You can't miss a court date, right? Drug testing is something that can sometimes come up, especially if you're on a PR bond. That's something that you might not have been told about, but I want you to be aware of. You could be asked to come in and take a drug test. And if you're on bond for DWI in Texas, you'll fail a drug test even for alcohol. So be mindful of that. Ignition interlock, that thing that you have to blow into. That's another big and really common requirement of bond for DWI cases, even first-time cases where people don't have criminal history. So I want you to be mindful of that as well. And then the last one is checking in. If you have a PR bond, you very likely have somebody that you have to check in with some type of frequency. And the same goes with a bail bond. There's probably somebody at a bail bond company, whether it's on an app or a phone call, with some type of frequency that you need to do. It's important to do all of those things, because if you don't, it can get back to the judge and then your bond can be revoked. If your bond's revoked, you go back to jail. The second important thing out of the gate for a DWI case in Texas is your driving privileges. DPS in Austin is always taking action. If you've just been arrested, they're taking it right now to suspend driving privileges after a DWI arrest. All of us, though, have a due process right to request a hearing. And that hearing is called an ALR hearing. Now, if you've done some internet research, I don't want you to be misled. ALR hearings are not some magic bullet to avoid a driver's license suspension. But doing the ALR hearing, number one, delays that suspension. Number two, it makes the government formalize that suspension, which sometimes they mess up, right? They don't get their people in court, they don't have the right reports, whatever, and you can get out of it on a technicality. And then the final thing is it gives your defense counsel an opportunity to ask some questions at that hearing. So it's a really important thing to do. You can't miss it, and it comes up quick. The deadline to make that request is within 15 days. It's a difficult thing to do on your own because DPS is looking at it, trying to figure out a way to reject it or kick it back. So it's a really fast-moving, important deadline. That's the second thing. The third and final thing is getting an attorney, right? An attorney can help with number one and number two, but above and beyond that, an attorney can assert and protect your constitutional rights. Trained, skilled, experienced DWI lawyers in Texas know just what to do, just what to look for, what angles to take, what games the prosecutors or police often play. And if you don't have somebody with that skill set and that knowledge, you're really leaving something on the table. So those are the three main things to do after a DWI case in Texas. I know it's super stressful, and you've got a right to be stressed, right? Nobody plans on this happening. If you're facing DWI, you're facing jail time, no matter what your criminal history is or the facts. So being mindful of all of that, I just want to leave you with this one important thing. You can't change what happened, right? Like, none of us can go back in time, but the action that you take right now, you can change what happens next. And doing those three things are the best and fastest way to do that.